Alright, here we are. We are going live. And I'm going to say hello, everybody. So please let me know if there's any issues with sound or screen. My name is Kyla Tilley. I'm a singer-songwriter. I'm based in St. John's, Newfoundland, and I'm going to play you some of my songs tonight. And I'm going to start with, YouTube is yelling at me to check my video resolution, but I'm going to hope that I look okay. It just says I'm not optimal. Oh, maybe I can check it. No, it's YouTube's problem. I'm not going to worry about it. Alright, I'm going to start with a song that is about, I like to write songs about how we are all connected. All nature is connected through time and space, and that we are not very different from animals and birds or dinosaurs, and we all need to go to work and get groceries and feed the kids. Oh, excellent, excellent. Thank you, Steve, for chipping in there. Feathers flapping, fluttering, ruffling, generate air on the wing. Lift and drag a memory encoded, understanding unforgotten. Jump, drop, glide. Taken by the wind. Day to day, scanning, hustling, providing for the brood. Hunt and gather, quarry, recognize knowledge hereditary. Sight, dive, capture. Taken by the wind. Fragments of time, times long past, we walked on land. Brave behemoth lies there still, by fate continues, taken by the wind. Herons tended, chirping, chattering, gossip shared on the wire. Daylight waning, helio settling, nocturnal dangers waken. Home, rest, do it again. Taken by the wind. Taken by the wind. Right. So thank you for joining me. This is all part of SERFA, which is the Southeast Regional Folk Alliance, which is a lovely little conference. I'm really enjoying myself here. And this is a showcase I'm doing as part of it. And the next song is one I've actually released. It's on my EP Vagaries, which I put out in the fall. And I wrote this song in the middle of July last year. So I was living in Montreal at the time, and I was living in a very cramped one-bedroom apartment that didn't seem so cramped before the pandemic, and me and my husband couldn't leave it. And so I was sitting in this very hot Montreal apartment, and I was dreaming of the beaches of Nova Scotia, which if you've ever been to Nova Scotia, The southern part has beautiful, beautiful sandy beaches that you can wade out into the water in. And that's what I thought about when I wrote this song. Warm sun, bare skin, braced for cold, shocking pleasure of immersion, plant my toes, grip the sand, extend my arms, caress the surface, and wait. Gentle, gentle are the waves. The big spray hits when I'm not looking, takes advantage of my lapse, scoops my body up and slams my insignificant form down, down to drag along the bottom, dislodging snails and habitations. Hair like netting catches seaweed, tangles around my face and throat. Choking salt, spitting liquid, I'm ejected, used, exhausted. Bobbing like the wooden treasures. Shapes soften and displaced by the ocean. Oh, hello. Thank you very much, everyone, and welcome Javier and Folk Renaissance, as well as Steve. Thank you so much for joining me here. So that was The Wave, which is on my album, my EP, Vagaries, which is available on my Bandcamp page. And digitally, wherever digital albums are available. I'm going to stick with the theme of taking one's clothes off. I'm a bit of a nudist at heart, which means not leaving my house for a year has actually been kind of pleasant. But this song, this is an old song, and I put it out on my album New Shoes, and I put out in 2019. It's called Au Naturel. Why not take off all of your clothes and throw them on the floor? You'll feel so much better. You'll feel so divine. And you can dance a little jig, and you can stretch your arms. You can breathe a little deeper. You won't be confined. Just go au naturel. Just go au naturel. naturel. Now, I think I'm going to take a slightly more serious turn. This is a song I wrote. I was approached by a friend who's a social worker, and she lives in Toronto, and she was working with a group of women who'd had their children removed by child welfare in Ontario, mostly due to their involvement as in drug use or as sex workers. And the group was they were trying to make changes to the way that the government does things and to the help that's available to women. And so I spent about 6 months kind of going back and forth with them and getting their story. And I think they had filled out a survey answering some questions about how they felt. And I never saw the questions, but I got the answers. And so I discussed the answers with the women and the things that they had been doing. And they'd written a whole manifesto to send to the Ontario government. So I put this song together, and each revision I would write a song, and I'd send it to them, and they'd be like, oh, this is really great, and this isn't, and we'd kind of talk about it. And in the end, we came up with this song, and the choruses are their words exactly taken word for word from the survey answers, and then the verses are what I was able to put together from the manifesto that they had written. And the name of the song, and this is also on my New Shoes album, and the name of the song is The Ant versus the Elephant, and that was how one woman described going up against the Ontario government. She felt like an ant going up against an elephant. You paint us all with the same brush, the ant said to the elephant. We're the system, we know best. You've clearly shown that you're unfit. Why should we spend any time or resources on you? People don't change, so please stay in a nice pigeonhole. Spring to the arms of all comforts, the ant retreated. Crawl away, you've had your chance, the elephant said to the ant. We're the system, we know best. You've clearly shown that you're unfit. Why should we spend any time, resources on you? People don't change, so please stay in a nice pigeonhole. But as I got older, the hurt just got stronger. The grief a welling so large, depression with crying jets hid my suppressed rage. And through it all, my love only grew. Understand the circumstance. Is that really so much to ask? Acknowledge struggles that I face. Depression, drugs, poverty, homelessness. The present, the past, and the chances I was never given. The elephant just shook its ears and wouldn't listen. As the ant fell deeper into despair and depression. But as I got older, the hurt just got stronger. The grief a welling so large, depression with crying jets hid my suppressed rage. But through it all, my love only grew. My love for you is always there, and nothing can change that. Let me tell my story, please. Tell the story of my grief. You took my child as you once took me, a cycle we're doomed to repeat. Left me alone with no hope, no help and no future. The elephant just turned its back, and the ant had to wonder, how can you help a child if you won't help the mother? I finally had enough of blaming myself. I grew tired of feeling ashamed, so then I grew angry. My anger finally gave way to determination, as I learned to value myself. The most important thing now in my life is to change the system. We are making the elephant here. There's the ant versus the elephant. And now I'm going to move into, so that is available on my album New Shoes, which is a full-length album. There are physical copies, and it's on sale at my Bandcamp page, which is kylatilley.bandcamp. I am Kyla Tilley. I am a singer-songwriter from Newfoundland and Labrador, Canada. And the next thing I'm going to sing is a newer song. I have begun writing songs live on Twitch. So I've sort of been doing that throughout the pandemic. So a couple times a week, Wednesdays and Fridays, I broadcast myself on twitch.tv, and I sit down and I write songs, and I look for prompts, and I take part in songwriting challenges and things like that. And this came from a challenge from the songfancy.com challenge, and it was a 5 songs in 5 day challenge. And it was a list of words, and I think swirling was one of the words, and it didn't make it into the song, but I think it's kicked it off because I was painting my house at the time, and I did not do a very good job of painting my house, and we learned why I'm a songwriter and not a house painter. Paint settled in the fibers of the carpet on one edge where the paint was less secure. I soaked it up as best I could, but latex hardens much too quickly for my reflexes to snare. Well, there go all my efforts for a clean job. There go my endeavors for a perfect home. But in the grand scheme of things, I guess it doesn't really matter. In the grand scheme of things, I poured over so many shades of white. Who knew such a number could exist? It was far more complicated than I was expecting, and by the end of it, just kind of picked one. Well, there goes all that time that I spent thinking. There goes all my planning, all my careful choice. But in the grand scheme of things, I guess it didn't really matter. In the grand scheme of things, what matters is the house is not so dark now. What matters is the feeling of renewal. What matters is a place to sip our coffee. So many ragged edges where a hole is cut for piping, or a molding isn't quite flush to the wall. I broke so many tiny brushes made of foam, just trying to jam that paint to those corners. done, there were still spaces, places that I missed where the old shows through. But in the grand scheme of things, I guess it doesn't really matter. In the grand scheme of things, what matters is the house is not so dark now. What matters is the feeling of renewal. What matters is a place to sip our coffee. What matters is the house is not so dark now. What matters is the house is not so dark now. What matters is the house is not so dark now. So that is In the Grand Scheme of Things, and I haven't released that, but I did put a little video of myself singing it up on my YouTube channel here as I right after I wrote it. So this next one, this is another one that I wrote, also from a list of words, if I recall correctly. And it's just called The Beginning. And I think when I started writing it, I thought I was writing a song. What I was writing the song about changed several times throughout the process of actually writing the song. So I think it's open to a bit of interpretation. Forget what comes before. Just be in this moment, conscious and aware, quietly perceiving. Are set too high for any trace beginning. And now we're going to scoot over to my other guitar, and I'm going to do another song that I released last fall. So I put out a little 5-song EP called Vagaries. It's a follow-up to my previous 5-song EP, Whimsies. And it was, my thoughts were all kind of light-hearted songs that, you know, try and cheer everyone up kind of thing, I think was my thinking. But in retrospect, so that song The Wave I played is also on that. But in retrospect, this maybe isn't the happiest song. This is Under the Label. We should have had a lovely time, a pleasant evening shared with friends around the table gathered for a meal. Set the places all so nicely, matching linens, place cards too. I was so looking forward to the night. But no, instead we're here in this cave. I planned a dinner party. Now we're a party of adventurers. I was prepared to face a mountain of dishes. Now I'm facing certain doom, and as I gaze into the gaping maw of death, I ask, whatever possessed me to look under the label on the sweet condensed milk. The recipe I promised turned out to be a spell, and the magic baking powder must have lived up to its name. We didn't open up the oven, we opened up a gate. By now the guests had all arrived, and in the kitchen did converge around the table gathered for our meal. The food was all prepared, only one thing left to go. When the timer rang, I beamed, the dessert. But no, instead we're here in this cave. How did my dinner party become a party of adventurers? I was prepared to seek of the finest vintage. Now I see some magic sword, and as I gaze upon the teeth that could be swords, I ask, whatever possessed me to look under the label on the can of condensed milk. The recipe I promised turned out to be a spell, and the magic baking powder must have lived up to its name. We didn't open up the oven, we opened up the gate. And they all look to me like I'm some chosen one to lead us through this maze, return us to our homes. With only oven mitts, craft beer apron for armor, I fear that we are destined not to have but to be dinner. Wish I'd read less novels and spent more time at the gym. And as I'm sliding down the gullet to my doom, I ask, whatever possessed me to look under the label on the can of condensed milk. The recipe I promised turned out to be a spell, and the magic baking powder must have lived up to its name. We didn't open up the oven, we opened up a gate. We didn't open up the oven, we opened up a gate. And you know, I think that after singing that song in which my protagonist is eaten by some sort of monster, and after having mentioned my previous EP, Whimsies, I think I would like to follow that up with my other song in which the protagonist is eaten by a large monster. That's on my EP Whimsies. There was a recent string change, so there's going to be lots of tuning tonight. This song I wrote while I lived in Australia. And if you don't know this about Australia, I can tell you that there are some very large creatures with more than 4 legs. My mother told me to be careful, to mind where I'm treading when I leave the nest. You'd be wise to watch where you're going. The route you are keeping could shorten your life. But young roaches are often unheeding. They think they're immortal, a reckless belief. But you never know what may be lurking at night in the kitchen, awaiting a meal. Now lately, the way to the pantry had strayed clearer than ever before, and sadly I let my mind wander, forgot what his cautions fell into routine, and I did not see 8 furry legs hiding under the counter until I saw myself reflected 9 times over in her ugly eyes. My species has been... No, that's not right. No, my species has been here for long. No, I'm not singing the right words at all. This is what you get for throwing something in. Long story short, we meet a big spider in the pantry late at night. She had me, and I could do nothing, nor could my brothers, who saw it transpire. I thought fondly of moonlight, breadcrumbs, and all of those good things I'll never more see, when a shadow fell over the kitchen. A human had entered. I thought myself safe, but damn humans, they fly more filthy than their guns and aggression. They side with the huntsman and leave me to die. Leave me to die. Well, my species has been here far longer, and we will outlast them. We will live through all their nuclear war. But I shall not see that day or any other. Alas, the only thing I'll see is the lair of the huntsman, and my poor old mother will know it's the last thing I saw before I died. That is the Roaches' Lament from my Whimsies album. And this next song, you may have noticed that perhaps Kyla likes the odd fantasy novel and fantastical creatures and creatures. I think I write a lot of songs about animals and creatures. But this next song, because I write, so my name is Kyla Tilley, I'm a singer-songwriter, and since the pandemic has come upon us, I've begun writing songs live on Twitch every week, a couple times a week. So I'm constantly on the lookout for topics and things to write songs about. And I use a little program to send files back and forth between computers. So when you send a file, it generates this one-time use password, and one time the password was 7 Pegasus cleanup, which I thought sounded very messy, but I wrote it down because I was like, I got to work that into a song. And it kind of sat, it sat in my notebook for a few months. But then I had a couple weeks where I was extraordinarily busy, and this came out of it. So this is 7 Pegasus cleanup, and this next one is it's also on my YouTube channel. I do these little very casual videos of myself singing my songs sometimes, and by sometimes I mean every Monday. There's so many things to do, hard to know where even to begin, decisions to be made, expectations to meet, and I feel like I am cleaning up after 7 Pegasus, a stable full of shedded feathers, half-ate oats and other waste. And it feels like I am drowning in daily stresses, escalate, obligation stacks up higher, till keeping up feels so hard, and I'm watching myself fall behind, and I feel like I am cleaning up after 7 Pegasus, a stable full of shedded feathers, half-ate oats and other waste, and it feels like I am drowning in the noise of 7 equine beasts. I'll go outside and take a breath. Seems like I work so hard and yet don't feel like I've accomplished much. Rome wasn't built inside a day. Stand back and appreciate all I've done. Unchecked boxes on the list, overwhelming, head down into it. And just when I think I'm gaining ground, I notice I forgot to eat again. And it feels like I am cleaning up after 7 Pegasus, a stable full of shedded feathers, half-ate oats and other waste. And it feels like I am drowning in the noise of 7 equine beasts. I'll go outside and take a breath, then dive back in, pitchfork and feed in hand. That is 7 Pegasus cleanup is what I have opted to title that one. Oh, we got Dig It Dave here. Great to see you, Dig It Dave. Yay. I'm pleased you came to my show tonight. So I see Dig It Dave often on Tuesdays, because on Tuesday nights I like to go to the Ham Bones open mic, which you can find here on YouTube. And they have announced that they are going to continue doing the open mic even when the pandemic is through and we can all go out, which is very exciting to me because I've really enjoyed going. So I'm tuning down. Yes, there's going to be a little bit of tuning here. So this next song, this is my latest single, and this is a co-write with a very good friend of mine that I've known for years. I've played in bands with her a long time ago. We wrote a lot of songs together. We wrote a lot of very silly heavy metal songs together, in which she writes the lyrics and I would write the riffs. But lately we've started writing kind of serious folk music together. Go figure. So she sent me these lyrics a couple winters ago. I think she had a very tough winter. And she wrote these lyrics out, and she said she spent a lot of time during the winter kind of writing them. And I don't know if because she's a songwriter as well, so I don't know if she had planned to do something with them. But I was talking to her about themes that I'm recording an album around these themes, and she was like, oh, I have a song for you. So she sent me the lyrics, and yeah, I was moved to write music for them. So this is, and we released it just about a month ago or a couple months ago. This is called Swimsuit Axe. So the lyrics are by Kara Windsor Hare. I'm trapped in the basement, I don't have an ashtray, and I spend my time wasting and fretting on bad days. Black mold on the lawn, burn holes in all of my shoes. If I could focus on good deeds, not bad, I might have spent winter not feeling so she's saying over an endless and on. I'd have strode out on the ice with my swimsuit and axe. I'd have chopped a big hole with a few clumsy whacks, and I'd drown out her voice there in the frozen pond. Throw your arms out, unfurl your cloak, push on through to the butterfly stroke. Look out hard and ride on the wave that you make. Let the murk and the muck pass underneath. Let the grasses and fishes tickle your feet. If I could focus on good deeds, not bad, I might have spent winter not feeling so down. Replaying what she's saying over an endless and on. I'd have strode out on the ice with my swimsuit and axe. I'd have chopped a big hole with a few clumsy whacks, and I'd drown out her voice there in the frozen pond. Float on your back, take a breath deep with ears full of water. You can't hear her speak. Kick out hard and ride on the wave that you make. Let the murk and the muck I might have spent winter not feeling so down, replaying what she sang over and endless and on. I'd have strode out on the ice with my swimsuit and axe. I'd have chopped a big hole with a few clumsy whacks. Leeches and eels to the rocks clinging, musky and muddy and stinking of peat. Frogs on fly bitten, I am complete. So that is Swimsuit and Axe. That's my co-write with Kara Windsor Hare. And we also made a video for it. Kara's a visual artist as well, and a comedian. She's a stand-up comedian, a visual artist, a textile artist, and a singer-songwriter. She plays guitar. She can kick your ass. But she did a whole bunch of beautiful, beautiful paintings for a video that we put together for that song. So that's up on my YouTube channel as well. This very YouTube. I've got time for a couple more songs, so I'd like to do one. That's another one of my new songs, and I wrote this kind of the other day, and it's about, do you ever get like letters from the bank? This is really inspired by a letter I got from my bank. That was telling me about all the wonderful and exciting things that they were doing to my branch, which basically involved getting rid of every single service that I used at the branch, which, you know, I think was a little strange. But anyway, they tried to sell it as something really great. This is called To Serve You Better. Dear valued customer, we've got exciting changes in store for you. You're gonna have a whole new experience. We're doing this to serve you better. Serve you better, but we cut back our hours. You're gonna have to plan your visits better. Think of all the time you'll save. And we laid half the staff off. You're gonna have to wander the aisles more. Consider it your daily cardio. And think of those machines, as an exercise for your brain. You'll thank us as you get older. You'll thank us as you get And guess who gains from this? But think of all the money we'll be making. Think of all the CEO's children. Don't you think that we should own a team? Don't you want to see our name on all their swag? You say you'd like to take your business elsewhere. Well, we've got news for you. We've simplified your world. We drove all the competition out. So now you have no choice but to stay and let us serve you better. Serve you better. Dear valued customer, we've got changes in store for you. You're gonna have a whole new experience. We're doing this to serve you better. To serve you better. To serve you better. To serve you. Oh, and we've got Nancy here too. Yay! Look at all these fun people in the chat. Wow, right from the opposite side of the continent. Great to see you here, Nancy. So I've got one song left in my set tonight, and I have been Kyla Tilley. I am a singer-songwriter. I live in St. John's. Well, I live outside of St. John's, Newfoundland, but that's about the size of it. This last song, so this is the first, I'm doing 3 showcases as part of the SERFA conference this week, so this was my first show. Tomorrow I've got 2 shows. I've got a Saturday matinee where I'm going to do all kind of lighter stuff, some of my sillier songs, so that's a nice light afternoon fare, and then we'll do some, I figure Saturday night is alright for songs about fighting, and I have a lot of songs about struggle and battle and fighting, so I'm going to make it an evening of that. But to leave you tonight, I'm going to leave you with the title track off my album New Shoes, which hopefully is more uplifting. goddess, I'm a goddess. Nothing left to hide behind. I left a lion on the bathroom floor. I look into my eyes and see that I'm a goddess. I'm a goddess. I'm a goddess. We have to do that. So thank you so much for joining me here tonight. This has been a blast. I love doing these little performances on YouTube, and hopefully in the not too distant future I can come and do them for you in person. But I have been Kyla Tilley. I am a singer-songwriter. Thank you so much for coming, and I've got 2 more shows tomorrow, one vaguely in the afternoon and one at the same time. So have a great night, everybody, and a great weekend, and we'll see you all somewhere.